o'clock, we're going to start a meeting. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Led by President Milton.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. We will go into roll call.
Milton Nodacker is present and has no conflicts of interest.
Rob Milchak, present, no conflicts.
Gina Gravenmeyer, present, no conflict.
Tammy Hassel, present, no conflicts.
Mayor Carson present and no conflicts. Any proposed amendments to the agenda?
I don't have them.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, and we'll move on to approving the minutes for the May 14th regular council meeting and the May 28th work session meeting minutes.
It says that I wasn't present, but I was.
Oh, on the top.
Whoops.
May have just been left over from
Yeah,
that.
I
think it was,
I definitely missed the two. So.
Okay, I will fix that.
And that's on which one?
That's right,
May
and roll
14th.
call.
May 14th, okay.
Yeah.
Under roll call and conflicts of interest.
Shouldn't have a conflict.
Well, I didn't have any conflicts. Not that I can remember. Sometimes I'm conflicted after I talk. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I was obviously I was there. So
Right, yeah.
I was voting on stuff when you
Yeah.
go down, so.
Sometimes it takes several sets of eyes to catch everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not aware of anything. I'll move that we accept the minutes of the May 14th. regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Aye.
All in favor? I was waiting for that
Yeah,
one.
I got you.
All-
Aye.
And no nays. Motion passed to approve May 14th minutes. May 28th minutes.
Is that the work session?
Yes, work session minutes.
This is May something.
I don't see any issues with this one. So if nobody else sees any interest or issues, I would make a motion to approve the May 28th, 2025 work session minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, motion passed. Minutes for the 28th is approved. Okay. Moving on. Financial report.
There is no financial report at this time as we are in the process of moving to QuickBooks Online. And bills to be paid, there are no abnormal bills that have come in, so all regular bills have been paid.
Okay, we have no guest speakers. Citizen comments? Welcome, Miss Nodak.
Has nothing to do with what's on the agenda, but all you guys are awesome. We did such a good job at the yard sale. Oh, the fire department will be so happy. And I'm so proud of everybody. And I heard that your Nerf floor was amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you to the city. We had 30 kids out there, and I don't know how many adults, but I know 10 of them were out playing.
Awesome.
So it was a heck of a turnout.
Yeah, I've got a baseball team that's sorry that they missed it.
Yeah.
Soon.
I heard quite a few kids, oh, my friend's gonna be so jealous.
These are the ladies that were in the concession stands with me, one of them,
Gotcha.
and wanted to play.
Well, we had a lot of, I've gotten a lot of comments just out and about that it was awesome, and they hope to see more events like that for the kids, so.
Yep.
And the yard sale, do you mind sharing how much,
Let me grab my,
how many donations you got?
oh man, got a ton of donations. And I've got to give credit to this club I belong to Nespers County Republican Women's Club. Phew!
Yeah.
Can't say that 10 times fast, once is good. But they came to the rescue, donated a whole bunch of stuff, and then the community members were just amazing too. So,
That's cool.
boy, oh boy, something for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Our
that,
basement's bigger than it was too.
Yeah. You have more room in it now.
it certainly seemed like it was successful.
Yeah, and everybody seemed to have fun kind of chatting as they walked around
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like win all the way around.
That's great.
Awesome.
It was cool. We were trying to tell people, especially the parents, about this down here, so there's quite a few of them that just dropped their kids off. We'll be back, see ya!
Yeah.
Thanks for following me this direction.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh,
Exactly.
for sure.
Do you have a number for like the amount raised?
Yes. Let me get back in my box there and get so excited I can hardly think about my paper here.
She's doing about 6 kids and 10 adults play.
Yep. And while she's looking for that with the Nerf thing, we got kids from Weippe, Kuski, Lewiston, even one guy, they were on vacation from New Zealand and saw the ad in the paper and came over and played.
Yeah, that
Wow.
that was Mike and his
That
clubs,
is-
yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the amateur radio club, yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
is
Sweet. Yeah, and I think after that, there was a lot of talk about it, and that's where the people that, the Babe Ruth or baseball team, the ladies there,
Gotcha.
they were all in the call.
Mm,
So next time, they'll come more.
gotcha.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Levi and Gavin both wanted to go, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna end up using that whole park pretty soon.
I'm planning to do one more this summer if I can.
Awesome. Okay, the total I got, if my math is right, is $1,015.
Wow. Amazing.
$1,015 and how many cents?
37.
Thank you.
That's
nice.
outstanding.
Good job. Way to
do
go.
that
And you took out your seed money, right? That's not in that total, is it?
Well, let's just say I paid for a lot of stuff. It's good. It's good.
Okay. Because you're supposed to take your seed money out, you know, and your expenses, and then donate the rest.
Well, technically I know that. I love the community and I want to be able to put out fires. And
You are
so-
amazing.
Okay.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
You were down here a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting
And
me
Mr.
know.
President was there to help a little bit too.
Every now and
We,
then,
we,
not
we,
like that.
we saw you peeking out and pulling the trailer in and out. Alrighty.
Good time was had by all.
Yeah.
Very good party.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll just give an update on the courthouse. So we moved in, the assessor, treasurer, and the county clerk moved their stuff in today, I think. There's still some functions that are going to be done on the 20th, but they had 3 trials in 3 different courts today. So the court, the justice system is set up, and they're using the courtrooms now. So if you're in town, come by and take a look at the courthouse. I had Terry come by from Lenore, and he was impressed with it. And if you catch me there, I'll give you guys a tour. It's really an impressive building. They did a really good design job on it. And it looks like the old courthouse will be open until the 20th, or no, the 25th, and then abatement starts. So they're going to be, I think, in a week doing a surplus auction, and they'll be auctioning off some stuff. I'm going to try to get the old vault doors out. There's 7 vault doors that will be demolished if we don't remove them. We kind of want to store them and then maybe put them in the new courthouse. It's kind of a nostalgia thing, but we're moved in, and it's nice having everybody together. You know.
I was gonna say, are you gonna have a memorial service for the old building?
No, I think we're going to have like a big grand opening. Even though it's running, we're going to have a grand opening and maybe have some food there and invite the public in. And, I mean, they paid for it, so. But we don't know when we're going to do that. It's been a pretty hectic day.
What did they do at the Horse Indian statue?
It's in front of the new courthouse.
Oh, is it?
It's on
Okay.
a 6-foot pedestal.
Oh, okay.
So it looks really nice.
Oh, wait, cool.
It looks like they cleaned it or did something.
Yeah, they cleaned it when they took it down, and the artist that did it said the cleaning was just take linseed oil and just wipe it on it. So it used to be kind of a white color when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Made it look like it was a statue, but
Yeah,
all
that's
that
what I
paint's
thought,
gone. It's actually metal.
I knew it looked
And if
different.
you look, you can see it's an Appaloosa horse. Couldn't really tell that before, but there's different kind of textures of metal that make it an Appaloosa and stuff. It's nice.
And the blanket that was at the bottom of the stairs, did they do something with that?
Yeah, the quilt we're going to put somewhere in the new courthouse, but we haven't done it yet. But yeah, we've had a lot of people ask about that.
My grandma made one of them squares.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That's what makes it cool.
Yeah, no, and there's other folks that I guess were involved in that have talked about it. What are you going to do with the quilt? That's not a big
It
deal.
was a good deal.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, come if you're in Lewiston, just come by and go up to the commissioners, and if I'm there, I'll kind of try to show you around if I'm not in a meeting or something. But one of the things that's really cool is Patty has been really she's kind of like the historic document Nazi. And there's a historic document room that has a continuous history of the county back to 1862, and it is impressive. These big leather bound books that are this wide, or this this tall and this wide, and they're all on their side in these specially made roller cabinets. And if you open the old ones and look at the cursive writing, it's just like absolutely perfect. And it's really interesting going through those books.
Cool.
So if you get there, I'll take you in there. I just think that place is amazing. And you can handle the books. You have to wear gloves, but it's a continuous history. And the county was established in 1861. And so if you look at some of the books, it's like once they established the county and the courthouse started recording things, people were coming in and recording their homesteads. Because up until then, there was no place to really record that stuff. So it's all in there. It's really incredible.
Nice.
That's really
Is
good.
anything still going to be happening over at Bramard, or?
At the Bramer building?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. The state, kind of in a roundabout way, asked if we just give the state the Bramer building, and then they would put their public defenders in there.
Oh.
And we said, no, we're not going to give it to you, but we'll lease it to you if you want, because that's about $5,000 a month that it should lease for. So that's a lot of that's $30,000 a year. And so if they don't take us up on that, we'll be leasing it, or we might even sell it. So it's not part of the county spaces anymore.
Cool.
Very cool.
It'll be fun to see.
Thanks for the info.
Yeah,
Anything else?
that's it.
Alrighty. Well, that's all the citizen comments, so we'll move on to old business. The first on the old business is toss the new government Microsoft 360, and if nothing's new there, we need to.
I shot them a follow-up email because they recommended that we get with a licensed, a certified Microsoft partner. Then she said she can make the introduction. Well, I've sent her 2 emails and I haven't gotten anything back. So
Okay.
I would recommend if our license is going to
Yeah, we have to renew.
just
$150?
get whatever we need to get for now. And then I'm not gonna say I'm gonna stop working this, but
Does it have to be a government?
I knew that there was such a thing as a certified government Microsoft 365. That's the only reason why I went ahead and tried to start exploring it,
Right.
but apparently it's gonna take longer than, we still gotta get business done.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to, talk and see if I can get a hold of somebody here, you know what I mean? It'd be nice if they had like an office locally so I can stop talking to people from customer life cycle management
Yeah, I
in
mean-
like Washington, but
In the meantime, are we just gonna renew?
We're gonna have to, because it's up.
Can that, what the current plan that we have, can that include extra Outlook emails? I personally I'm gonna create a separate email if we can't get this figured out, because I don't like using my personal one.
Right.
I'm in the same boat as
And
you.
that's,
Well, you-
Yeah.
Didn't you have something too that you were working on?
Looking at me now.
Huh?
What I do?
the 365 that you have, it's the trial,
No, it's an actual account I made for the city.
it's an actual account.
It's just the free version because they give you like 5 gigs for free. And then if you want to add,
$150 that we need to pay to renew what we have so far, so is
well, I
that,
don't know what you guys are paying for.
so Monday, can you come in and check it out
Yeah.
and
It's-
see what we
It's
can?
Microsoft 365 Basic. It's got Word, Excel.
Right, okay.
I think it has Teams too.
It does have
Yeah.
Teams, so it's basic.
I can look at it to see, because I think if you guys are going to use that stuff, we should probably start thinking about multiple computers so that we can integrate those and put city accounts on them so we can log in and share that information and such. Like I said, I started doing it and the water got real muddy real quick, so I just kind of letting you guys sort it out, but it's an easy fix. Yeah, I can stop by.
Paid subscription we have.
I'll come check out what you guys are paying for and see what all it applies to, and adding if that's a possibility or whatever. I'm sure they have something that we can figure out.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, because doing city work on our personal devices, I do not
None of us
jive
like
with
it.
that well.
Additionally, if we're, public officials and posting our email address, I'm not comfortable with public reaching out to me on my personal email
Right.
address. And so, if he finds out that the account that we pay for could include up to a certain number of emails, is this something we could move forward with today or we gotta wait and see how much it costs and come back in July, or what are we thinking?
I'd have to look it up, because the last time I looked it up, it was, I think, $6 per email you wanted to do, and everybody can have their own Outlook email address, and then you would have access to Word and all of that.
So it'd be like 8 emails.
I think so, yeah. I think I had it. I'd have to go find my notes on it.
But does it it has the OneDrive where we can go in there and
Correct.
swap.
Yes.
And then we can lock, you
Yeah.
can lock your
So you would
files.
have your own OneDrive, and then I created the city one, so you guys could do your official business with your Outlook accounts, have access to put stuff in the city OneDrive, and then pull. So you create a copy on yours so you can work on it, and then kind of like what you guys are doing with the ordinances and whatnot.
Right.
You guys can work on them personally on your copy and then upload them for everyone else
Yeah,
to look at.
that's what I was.
You can do it, and that's kind of what I was trying to get going.
So is that OneDrive different than the OneDrive we already have?
No,
Is-
you have,
no.
I created the exact same
of what
Okay.
you guys already have. You have a free version of that. And then the subscription you're paying for is giving you access to all the apps
But we're
on
not,
the computer.
then that's the one that we're not the administrator on.
Correct.
So.
But the one he
The one I
has
created,
is
Right.
ours. We
Yeah.
are the administrator on his.
Right.
So if we're gonna do this, we should probably move forward with upgrading the one that you have.
I would recommend it because then you guys can have it.
Exactly.
And
Pay
I
the money on
created,
that account,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
then
you
can
shelve
you
the other
move
one.
everything from
Yeah.
the one we have to
yep,
there?
and then you can just
Okay, then we can let
purge
it go
what you
and-
want out of those and then transfer what needs to be. And then I added a Gmail account to dual authenticate with it. So it's already set up, ready to go. And the mayor has the login info, and I do as well, but we can change that to whoever you want to designate to be in charge of, because you're going to need an administrator to watch the actual city account, and then everyone will have their own account.
Do you have, do you know what time you're gonna be in on Monday to take a look at that, or?
Whenever.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, our radio license expires in September,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to renew it online, and it should be done through a city account, I think.
Okay.
So I want to give it, to do it through a city account.
Yeah, I'll just come in first thing in the morning, and then if I see you,
Okay.
if not, we can
It's not real
coordinate.
urgent, we have 3 months to
Yeah,
renew it, so.
yeah, it shouldn't take that long, once we figure out what we want to pay for, and then just set it up.
Do we know if the current account that we're using, it will auto renew, or do you have
No.
the ability to stop?
It won't, because the card that was put in there has expired.
Okay.
So I'm getting an email yesterday or today, and saying you need to renew or you're gonna lose all your information. So we need to pay for the new version and just get our
I
stuff
thought we couldn't
moved.
get into that one.
We can, but we're not the administrator, but we can go take our stuff, right? The way I understand it, we can take our stuff and move it to the new account,
Okay.
let this go away.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah,
then
so
we will
the-
be the administrator, the city will be the
Right.
administrator, not Sandra or whoever it was.
Whoever it was.
Correct.
So,
Sorry the government thing didn't work out in time there.
oh, no, it's okay.
Well, and maybe
I
it
feel
will
like the
for
way it all
next year.
sounds, though, it might be way more expensive than we.
It could potentially be, I was just hoping that it would save some.
Right.
But even with that, because what I was after was actual .gov,
Yeah.
you know, email addresses like most individuals probably have. But even with that, they couldn't be the sole provider of all that. We would have to go create a domain for our city .gov and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So with this, it's an information and an action thing here, so.
Pretty much, we're just proceeding with what we
We're
already.
proceeding with the renewal
Yes.
with the free, what's it called?
The free trials.
Subscription
Yeah, that he
that we already
Yeah,
have.
it'll be whatever you guys are already paying for, and then you're looking at probably $6 to $12, depending on what
A
per
year, a
account.
month,
Yeah, that's monthly.
monthly.
Yep. So it'll be a few. I think it was like $700 to do the council members and like Leroy and myself and Justin, or the water plan as well, to be included in all that. It was like $700-800 to get the Microsoft and the Teams and all of that.
A year or a month?
That's yearly. But again, I'd have to pull all the notes that I had back then and probably look and see if the prices have changed.
So do we want to make a motion to go ahead and renew, or do we want to we just want him to check into it, see how much it is? and then-
I would make a motion to renew Microsoft 365, but renew it under the account that we already created,
Okay.
that we have administrative control over.
Yeah,
Does that include adding enough accounts for
yes.
everybody to have their own?
Email
I'm just
account.
making
Yes.
sure the motion's clear. I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposing? Motion passed.
So I'll get with Cindy and we'll double check all of that, and then when it comes time to making everyone's accounts, I'll run the numbers one more time so it's not a sticker shock thing, and if that's okay, well, we'll figure out a generic City of Peck naming scheme and give everyone their own account.
Okay. Alrighty. moving forward. Number 2, review the newest draft of the incorporating ordinance 64 to 17 and 172 into 186, ordinance 186. I don't know, were we pretty much done with this so that we can?
Yeah, the only thing about this is we needed to create that resolution.
A resolution that lists the
The-
specific
the-
All the
prices.
prices.
And is it gonna be 2025-02 or was it gonna be 03?
It'd be 03.
Okay, so that'd be the only change that I can see right out the gate is to change it from 02 to 03.
So to get this started, then do we need to read the entire ordinance the first time? And then we can just go by title the other 2 times, or what's the rule on that?
I think Todd said you could read the full title, which would be, I thought he said read the full title.
He said he was gonna give us some more feedback on
Oh, okay.
how they legally, like at the state level, get through
Yeah.
big ordinances without reading a 100 to 200 page
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah, he did say we could read it once in
Full,
full,
and
and then as
Yeah.
long as it's the 3 times at a public meeting.
And that's what we did before, but I think
Right.
he was gonna provide us like a variation of what that looks like too, so. But he didn't go into detail during the meeting, so.
So does it matter which order we do that in? And what I'm saying is, could we get this started tonight by reading by waiving the full reading the title? And we've got 1 month under our belt?
My only concern is that it references the
The resolution,
resolution.
we don't have the resolution written yet with all the
But we do have
prices.
the resolution number though.
Yeah, so.
We can change the resolution anytime we want to.
Right, so my change to the ordinance is just a clerical one, saying that the ordinance that will list and reference all the fines and fees and costs associated with water system needs to be 03 instead of 02.
2.
So as long as we don't do another resolution that eats up that number, that should be good.
And that's kind of like what he was explaining.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's supposed to be here on the 18th when we're going
Right.
to visit with Idaho Rural Water, so I mean, that's kind of up to you. But he did also reference during the meeting that we do have the ability to do whatever we need to do as far as the reading and make it, legitimate. That we could also, do it during our special, city council meeting or the working
The
group
work
meetings.
sessions, 'cause that's
Any
public.
meeting that was open to the public would suffice.
Well, the other thing though is you have a public publication requirement also,
Right,
don't we?
yes, we do.
So-
On an ordinance, we do, a resolution.
So
we do.
is that what starts the process then?
Yes, because
Okay.
I think we have to, if I'm not mistaken, we have to publish it and then read the title 3 times and then,
Okay, so,
Well, you have to read the whole thing through unless you make a motion to not, is the way I understand it, unless the attorney told
but
you
you have
different.
to read the whole thing through at least once.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the
What I'm
first?
asking, what I'm asking right now is,
first thing we,
does
I
it need
think
to
we,
be published before you do that?
Before
I
you
think
read it
so.
through the first
Yeah.
time.
Right.
I think so.
yeah, I'm almost positive that's kind of what
Okay.
he said, we have to,
So we're at information point here then, and the motion should be to go ahead and publish it then.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, after we make the change to the, take a look at the rest of it. The only thing that jumped off the page to me was the resolution number
Yeah,
Okay, I'll move that we,
on 2 pages.
now, I move that we finish preparing this for publication and publish it in a timely manner so that we can begin acting on it at the July meeting.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Motion passed.
That will also give us some time in case we can get some more, he's gonna give us some feedback if he
Yeah.
comes also.
Potentially get the resolution done before.
Before he
Correct.
gets here on the 18th.
He is, who,
Todd, the
Todd.
attorney.
oh, okay, so he's coming back then?
Yes.
He's supposed to, so.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna follow it with him, it's the 18th. the day that
It's
we-
Wednesday, not
Next
this one
Wednesday.
now.
I'm gonna try to follow up with him again, just to get it warm and fuzzy. I'm really hoping that he's gonna be there for this water deal.
And he said he was going to be? Or he said he was
When
gonna
he looked at
try.
his calendar, he had court early in the morning, but he could potentially be here later.
I think he said by 10:30.
I never got an
11.
email response back from him when I sent him,
I didn't either.
so
Maybe
that's why I say I figure I might reach out to him again or call his office, just to get a one over.
All right, we'll move on to number 3, discuss progress on new draft of ordinance number 160 and its accompanying policy and regulations. Okay, I was going to work on this the other day after our meeting with Todd, but I wanted to get some clarification from you guys that we are taking out the concrete container vault or equivalent of the
Just
cemetery.
a few words out of the cemetery.
Yeah, it's just one sentence at the end of the city will mark on number 8. Says city will marking of a purchase plot will be accomplished by the city in accordance with the plot
Yeah.
purchase of furniture and burial.
Here. Oh, you got it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so it might highlight it. That's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Did Milks not get highlighted?
No, just lost it, that's all.
No, lost his.
Yeah.
Oh, everything was in order.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
There I am.
There, he's back.
Okay.
Once it's lost, but now I'm found. Thank you.
And then on the other page, there was the, section 11, about the decoration items and stuff. We've already notified one family that was coming up there to get some clarification on some stuff. And advised them that they had to remove all the trinkets and.
I like that area.
Yeah. They left some of the.
That's the one, yeah.
They left some of the stuff, but
Yeah.
it was just to where you couldn't mow anymore.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I
so-
caught him when I was up there mowing one time last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're cleaning it up. I was like, man, I wish somebody would bring me a beer and leave a fishing rod outside my
Yeah.
grave. I thought I got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
So
Was
he
deer
came
there?
up and he got his deer horn off the tree, he got the fishing poles out of there, but he still left the
The
bear and stuff there. And then over here you see the old plaques for powers anyway and stuff is there. That stuff could be taken out too because there's a tombstone there representing
Yeah.
that, so that stuff could be removed too. It's just plastic flowers everywhere all over the cemetery that need to be picked up. It's a pain in the ass when I'm reading it.
Gotcha.
This here was probably the biggest concern, and like I say, he still left his bear and stuff there. And like I say, I talked to him, he removed this stuff, but we still have this stuff.
So if you go up to mow and there are a lot of plastic flowers and that sort of stuff, do you just pick them up and dispose of them?
If they look like bad, or something like
Faded
that,
or
then
bad.
I'll pick them up and I garbage can, okay? If they look still nice and whatever, and maybe I'll pick them out of there, weedy, put them back, but I did just pretty well just picking them up and throwing them away. I mean, a lot of that stuff was from when the 4-H kids used to go up and decorate, we'd go out and we'd put flowers everywhere for Memorial Day weekend. I get that, but then after a week went by, Memorial Day weekend, pretty well told Charlie always to just done, jerk it all out, throw it all in the garbage. And it was,
But they didn't. They would always put it in a bag, at least when I was doing it.
Yeah.
They'd always throw them in a big garbage bag and then they'd stick it down here and next year we'd come ask for the flowers and we'd go throw them back out again.
So there's still a big bag there in the shop up overhead there of that stuff, plus what is up there now, and stuff, but yeah. I mowed there the other day and weeded it. I think I'm pretty well done because it's all dried out.
Drying out,
And there's nothing growing anymore.
Definitely don't want to hit a rock and spark and
Yeah, I don't wanna run that mower up there during
Yeah.
fire season and stuff, so, but, so I think I'm done mowing up there this year. I always figured if we had to empty out the tender or something, we'd just run up there and spray it down with it, it just seems a while.
Well, I think, if you guys wanna take these home and review them, mark on them, scratch stuff out, whatever, and when we do our work session, we can discuss it, bring it back, and then I can rewrite it.
And then just so we talked to the attorney a little bit about this also, just trying to get some clarification on the requirement to have a concrete vault. And there's nothing that I can find underneath any of the Idaho statutes. And I was looking at Title 17, cemeteries and crematoriums, off of the legislature for idaho.gov. So it's Title 26 and it's chapters 1 through 5. Nothing in there explicitly says that you have to have a concrete vault. I looked around Nez Perce County, I couldn't find anything from the county. It seems to be a cemetery by cemetery. The owners of the cemetery make, the rules for the cemetery,
Right.
as far as what I can tell. Unless anybody finds anything else, those are the two places that I looked. And the biggest thing about having the concrete vault is just the earth falling in on the burial site and additional maintenance being required. So as long as we're willing to do that, I don't see any reason why we can't take that out of the ordinance. Unless you find something else, because I kept looking a little bit.
I didn't look as though as it was you, but I didn't find anything.
I can find
Yeah, I
And the
didn't-
only thing
I didn't see anything.
if it did require, and we ended up having to do it, I would say that people that bought plots should be
Need to know,
grandfathered. Well,
yeah.
they should be grandfathered, they shouldn't have to. I mean, we can do it from here on out, but isn't that like a
Right.
huge expense?
To
It
put
is.
in the concrete vault?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
And it's
But,
like-
but do we have the ordinance that was published that this one superseded?
No,
Yeah,
there is
so I don't know.
there is nothing.
Yeah, okay,
No,
so this was
so-
the first
Yeah, this
ordinance.
is the first.
And that's what I.
But yeah, I'm with you on the grandfathering one, so if there was nothing that this
2010.
superseded that was recorded,
Right.
and this was the first one, in my opinion, everybody, passed that, and as
Yeah.
far as I'm looking around, I can't see anything that says you have to have it.
Well, if you did have to go back in and put in a vault, you'd have a real mess,
Yeah,
because the caskets would be
Oh, yeah.
all deteriorated.
We don't want
Oh,
any of
Yeah,
that.
and
No, no, no.
remains and all
But I mean, the people that are still living.
Right.
that
Right,
bought
and that
lots.
is gonna be
Should-
my goal, is what I think it was when we were talking to the attorney. I want everyone notified, especially those who buy one from this point on, need to know, here's a copy of our ordinance for the cemetery, this is the policies and regulations. This should go with everybody when they buy one, it shouldn't just be write the deed and give it.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
need that, they need all this information to know, in my opinion, and
I mean, we have
Yeah.
copies of deeds and the
Yes,
file,
yes.
and then
A
this
copy
should
that
just
goes
be
with it.
automatically attached to it.
yeah.
I
Okay, so
personally
since we're dealing with this, do we want to deal with the above ground for urns and that sort of thing at this point, or do we want to?
If we're thinking about putting that in there, we should probably do it now, so we're not having to rewrite the ordinance.
Oh, yeah,
again.
I would just say,
And-
bring all the deeds and all the info that covers anything related to our cemetery. Everybody's got a copy of the ordinance, and we put this on the agenda for our working group, and we
Okay.
sort through it, and we fix every single thing that what you just brought up,
Do it
the
once.
concrete burial part,
Right.
and then any kind of cleaning up of verbiage or anything else we wanna do with
And then-
fees or anything
And then
else.
if we establish niches there to sell and that sort of thing too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Also, they this week had a call from somebody that they have
Yeah.
one plot and she wants to put 3 people in it. I don't know if we allow just one body or one,
Wasn't it one casket and one
cremation?
urn? Didn't we find that?
One thing I understand
Yeah.
is that you can have a casket and an urn, or if you have a plot, you can put more than 2 urns on it, 3, up even 4, but it has to be approved by the city council to put more than 2 on a plot. So they could come up and present you with the idea of putting 3 or 4
Urns,
urns on a plot.
but
Yeah.
there can
So
only
then-
be one casket and
Yeah.
so then would you want to add to this so you're not digging up an urn that's already there because it's been 30 years and nobody works here anymore that dug it the first time. Where they're supposed to be placed, like,
And the pins, it's,
Number 6.
yeah,
One burial will be allowed per grave space, or 2 cremations allowed on one grave space.
yeah.
1 or 2 cremations may be buried in one occupied grave space at the head of the grave space and behind the existing headstone.
Okay.
1 headstone or marker will be allowed per grave space.
So if they want more than that
Two.
though, or what I just understood, if they want more than that, they can come to the city
Come to
council meeting
council.
and we can say,
Yay or nay?
That's what I understood by reading it.
Is there a provision that says the city council can make exceptions?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I just read that. Where did I read that?
Do we know when our next special
We'll-
working
we
group's
can-
gonna be?
It's on the agenda to schedule it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I move that we put this into the agenda for the working group and come up with a solid document as that time to be acted on.
second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No nays? Motion passed.
I tried to I tried to write down real quick what everybody was talking about on my copy too, so
Okay.
we can be focused during the working group.
Alrighty, number 4, approve the signing of the final draft of the agreement with Inland Northway. The attorney has looked it all over, everything looks good, signatures on it, you guys just need to make sure this is what we expected, and I will forward it to him tomorrow if you guys approve it.
And so do you have any exceptions to what's on it, since you're the one who basically negotiated?
No, actually, everything looks great. The attorney went over it. Everything is in order, everything is on here that we discussed. The only thing that Brandon was supposed to get me some information was when they're gonna have that side load,
That's,
so they
that's my
can,
big beef with
when
it.
they come
Okay.
down.
Because that's what we were told that they were gonna do.
Yeah, and I've asked him, and they are working on it, but it's a special build, so it's not something that can just happen tomorrow. It takes months to get this truck,
retrofitted.
I think I'd like to be reassured that it is actually happening though.
Yeah, that's kind of
He
where I'm at.
has
So,
told us that. on
yeah,
the
I would
phone.
like to know if it's actually in the pipeline, like it's
Yeah.
being retrofitted, or if they've,
Pictures or it didn't happen.
or,
Yeah, that's what I'm
or if
thinking.
or if they've budgeted money to make it happen. I haven't heard any other complaints as far as trash pickup, of course.
So,
If anybody else
it's
has.
gonna be handier for them, where they're in the small truck up on the hill and so on, and they have to come back down. That's more of a hassle for them than it is for us, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
More
I
hassle
would-
for them.
I would think the incentive would be with them.
I would
to-
think so
To make it
too.
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what we were told. And,
Yeah,
you know, we've been tagged for like, the kids will get out of the car, they throw their stuff in the garbage, and it's like trying to stop that. It's like the reason that
because
they.
it's not in a bag.
They
It's
want
not in the
bag,
bag,
yeah,
so we
okay.
keep getting tagged, which is, I mean, pretty
Yeah,
soon they're gonna
okay.
stop picking up, and we're
Okay.
still gonna have to pay for it,
right,
you know?
yeah,
And
I see, that's true.
so,
Because to go on the open truck, they want it back.
which is understandable, I
Oh, yeah,
do too.
absolutely.
Well, they have to manually remove. I talked
Right.
to them too,
Yeah.
same thing. They were super nice, I
Yeah.
mean, for what it's worth.
Well,
you
and,
know.
and then I wanted to get just like big liners, but you can't do that either because you close it in one bag and that's even
Yeah.
worse. So it's, I would like just reassurance on the truck. We're doing what we can about teenagers and, you know,
Yeah, that's what I told them.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
I think you're right in that request, because if the incentive is on them to make it easy on their drivers, but we're paying for it ultimately when they stop picking up our trash, when they originally specifically told us they were gonna build
Yeah.
a truck,
Okay.
so we wouldn't have this
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, 'cause we'll
Because
have
that's what
to-
you guys paid for.
yeah, so we
And they
still have
haven't
to pay the
delivered
bill
that.
and now we have to pay to go
Right.
down.
Oh, no, I'm just looking around. I didn't see
So
anything
are you wanting
explicitly.
a
Everything.
motion to go ahead and submit this?
Well, it sounds like everybody wants us to wait and get confirmation
I'd like confirmation.
on the truck
Okay.
before we sign
Okay,
it.
I'll let somebody else make a motion.
I'll make the motion to wait on signing of the Inland Northwest contract until we see and know that there is a truck in.
I just want something more than a phone call
Yeah.
conversation on it,
Mhm,
that's
okay.
all.
Something in writing.
At least something that
Something
we
in
can
writing, yeah.
point back to. But I mean, I think they've been performing well.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if they could give us a more firm date, that would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever's providing that truck for them must have some kind of an idea. what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah. Okay, I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Hey, if I could say something, so I'm gonna be negotiating next week with Inland Northwest for the county, and, it's kind of not public knowledge, but we're probably gonna end up going to the totes and the truck that
Yeah.
dumps.
For the rural people like up on
For the
the
rural people, yeah, and
Oh, well.
there's a host of reasons,
Right.
but it's gonna be less expensive.
And they do have the truck that dumps. Or they're retrofitting trucks to make it to where they dump, they pick up and dump.
We haven't talked about that.
So that would be
I'm assuming
something-
he
This is the
does.
same-
That would be
Yeah.
something to bring up to them, because when we first had a discussion with them, at the time when I left the meeting, I was under the impression that they already had those. Because the totes that they were dropping off, and I've lived in many cities and bases and stuff like that, are the same totes that you would see get picked. They're too
Yeah,
big.
side dumper,
They're
yeah.
too big for a garbage man, like if you're gonna try to pay for
Oh,
one
yeah,
guy.
they're 96 gallons.
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah,
it
they're
is.
big, yeah. So if you, I mean, your expectation as a customer is that you could fill that thing with anything you're able to fill it with, and they've got a machine with a hydraulic arm to pick it up. So-
Exactly, yeah.
So what's going on here right now is, I mean, everything's still getting picked up. It's easier for them because they don't have the truck right now. At least they don't have a truck for us. I mean, I don't know.
Okay,
So-
well, if we do this deal, I mean, it will be worth it for him to just buy a couple of trucks.
I would agree,
So-
yeah,
So if you guys wanna piggyback on that,
yeah.
you know, I think that's, and I'd be happy to share whatever
Right.
with you when we talk
Right.
next week.
That'd be something good to
And that's
preface
just a
the
little bit of a
conversation
heads up
in
for
the
you
email.
then on that.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought,
having said that though, they are amazing to work with.
They are,
They
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're really, you know,
Yeah.
we are really working well together.
Yeah, I really,
And-
Brendan is.
I thought for
he's-
us, they were
Yeah,
building
yeah,
a special
and,
truck to go over the
The
bridge.
other thing is.
Because they have the big
we're-
trucks.
Oh, okay.
Right,
But
they
they
don't have
needed
the
for
arms.
like,
Like 90%
like an
sure we're gonna
F
bypass the
550 with
transfer
a side
station.
dumper.
Gotcha.
Because the big truck
Whoever's
can't go
engineered
over
all the
Lula.
spreadsheets,
I
and
thought
it's
that
like
was the
$96
special
a
thing that
ton
they were
to-
doing
to
for
dump
us.
it.
So it's weird to me that
$49.
it's weird to me because when they
To
show
dump
up, they
over
show up
so-
with a big
so-
truck.
With the dumper, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't-
Like,
They
don't
can't
need
take
you
that
guys,
across the
sorry.
bridge, I don't
They
think.
don't, they
Right.
have a
I mean,
small
he's doing
truck
that with
they-
you and part of ours
they
right
have-
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's something
Yeah.
That
else
was
for
really
us
good
to-
data that he
Yeah,
gave
the
us.
small
So-
truck, and then they
So we're working
truck
on that.
dump it.
We
Yeah.
might as well
I mean,
kind of have.
They
two
take
And
the
maybe
small
they've
truck.
changed their
I
mind
actually
that
thought he
it's
might be
more
here
cost
today.
effective to
Uh-huh.
put the 2 trucks.
Yeah.
When I
Just
talked
send
to the
them
guy
over.
2 weeks ago, the guy with the cowboy hat that was picking up trash, because I had some heavy stuff, and
Yeah.
I know that they were manually picking it up. He said they were still working on getting a
Hmm.
truck.
Yeah.
But I would like something
Yeah.
else, even an email that says, hey, we're budgeting for it, hey, this thing's being purchased from here, hey, we hit a snag and we're trying to budget, just something like that in an email,
Yeah,
other than
yeah.
a phone call, that's
Yeah.
it.
I
But
bet
everything else looks
he's
fine
waiting
with the
for us.
franchise agreement.
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
And that, he had said something to us, or to me, about working with, I don't know if he said Nez Perce County, but he was working with
Yeah.
another agency too.
I'm the solid waste guy, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he let us know he's working to get another contract with somebody.
With them.
I don't wanna put words in my mouth, I'm not sure.
No, he did say
He
Nez
did
Perce
say- okay.
County.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so,
So that's next week, we're gonna talk, so,
okay, so,
yeah, but I think we should try to coordinate what we're doing.
I think so
Yeah.
too, because the
Yeah.
minute they go up Old Melrose and New Melrose, that's county.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
gotta be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I
it
see
is.
them go up there.
yeah, and they go Bobbitt Bench as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
So if they have them for you guys, they should.
You'll probably get more feedback about the roads from the
Yeah.
truck drivers.
One thing I'm kind of worried about though is, when we ordered a snowplow for the airport, it was a 50-month build.
It's a special build it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the supply line for these garbage trucks are, so he might like say, I wanna buy one, and it's,
Well,
you know,
he told
It could
us
be.
he's been working on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he's been working on it.
yeah.
But he had thought when we got on board that it shouldn't take but a couple more months.
Uh-huh,
And it's been since October.
okay.
Right.
Do you mind if I mention this to him?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I,
And our contention, I think, with the whole truck thing is not that they're being inadequate in the services that they're providing. It's just when you get into in my opinion, anytime you're dealing with other people's money, which you are when you're running a city or a county, I would rather give people information based off of an email that I got from the entity that I'm doing business with or something in writing, even if it's not going to happen for another year than just a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Because words over a phone don't mean anything,
Right.
in my opinion. So,
I'm all about the paper trail myself,
Yeah,
so,
right.
yeah,
So-
yeah, I get it.
yeah, I think Cindy's looking up, I think we have an email where he says something about when the truck.
well, that'd be great, yeah, because then maybe we go ahead and just sign this thing. So, I mean,
Okay. Well, while she's looking at that,
because I don't see any
Can
issues
we-
with it. I like the dumpsters, the
I-
cleanup days. I like all that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I like
the cleanup day was amazing.
Yeah.
Those dumpsters were filled, overfilled 3 times. We packed it down.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah, it was
a
great.
great community turnout.
Yeah.
Both times we've had them out here.
Yeah, you guys have got good stuff going here.
Yeah.
I always leave here feeling great, you know,
Thank you.
about the water plant and all the stuff too. And I've been talking to CETA about this too, and I know they're working with you, Gina, so they really wanna, you know, help out, and they've actually, Lapway's got some similar issues, and we're trying, they're helping Lapway out too. And
Awesome. So we went to some training through an agency called RCAC that's also tied with Idaho Rural Water and USDA and New Meadows a couple weeks ago. And I was going to reach out to them and try to get them to come up here and host an event here. So if we do that, maybe we'll reach out to you and see if we could get reps from Lapway. Because I know every single, outside of just Nez Perce County, every single one of these towns has got something off with their water system.
Oh, right, right. And he explained a little bit about how it all goes. You have to get the engineer, and then
Yep.
they won't
That's
give
where
you
we're
grants for
And we're-
maintenance, but when you do the new one,
Right.
but it has to be all documented and
Yeah.
and everything.
And these
so,
guys, these 4 guys right here are busting chops.
yeah, I could tell from the other meeting.
Yeah.
So it's, you guys are doing everything right. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
Well, we had a recent meeting with our attorney who also sounded like he's very familiar with this process, and so that'll be nice to have him help us walk through what we're supposed to do and getting all of those steps moving, so,
mhm.
yeah.
I feel like things are going well.
Yeah, we're getting,
Weird, man.
rolling the ball.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you find anything, Cindy?
I have not found one where he's mentioned that. I think he was in person
I
when he
thought that
talked
was,
about
I
it,
think that
or
was.
on the phone with us,
All right.
but I do
Okay,
not.
so
It's
we
good to
will,
have, we could have it more current.
Yeah, he's not a huge email person with me either.
yeah.
So,
He'll email me back if I
Yeah, if
email
we
him. It's-
email him, he'll email us back, but if we call him, he calls us right back if he doesn't answer the phone.
mhm.
So he's really good to work with.
Yeah.
All right, so did we make a motion already on?
Yeah, we made a motion to.
Yeah.
And passed it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll contact, do you want me to hold off on contacting him until you guys have your meeting? Or give me
No,
time?
Oh, no, this is
Talk to him, I'll just-
independent.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll just let you know what we talk about when we talk next week.
What we
Yeah,
need,
I'd
you know what we need is garbage trucks with snow plows mounted on them.
There you go.
Right. That's another 50 months.
I'm all about efficiency. I'm
Well, that's what I thought with the mail too, the mail trucks, the paper
Yeah.
boy, the
Yeah.
snow plows, and the garbage should be all one truck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Alaska we had those big deuce and a halves for, stuff with big conical plows on them. And
Yeah.
I think we bought the original International deuce and a half build through International, and then we had a a local company retrofit a mount for a big conical plow, because we were clearing the flight line, you know, up at Elmendorf and other places, you know.
Alrighty, we'll move on to new business then. Here we go. We need to decide on a date for the June work session.
Yeah. I won't be in tomorrow,
We'll just say Thursday afternoons are bad timing for me, because my wife's teaching a class right now. There we go.
There's a lot going on next week.
There
Yeah,
it
there
is.
we go.
So, the week of the 23rd.
Yeah, probably.
That, yeah, the 23rd, 24th, or 25th for Mondays. I'll be out of town on the 26th, 17th.
I've got
And,
baseball tournaments 26,
Okay, I'll be back, but you're free charge.
So, out of those dates, the 23rd and the 25th work. The Monday or the Wednesday work the best for me, because I don't have anything on my calendar so far.
Okay.
I got swim lessons on the 24th.
Well, that's why don't we stay with Wednesdays if that's
Yeah,
good for most
that's
people.
fine with me.
Wednesday works for me.
Wednesday the 25th?
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Justin, does that work
I
for you?
think so.
Anthony?
Just make sure you do it earlier so you guys aren't all cranky. Like the email. Everyone was ready for bed last time.
Sorry, that was, I'm on summer break from my day job, so I can meet in the morning if you guys wanna meet.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
can.
does that mean Anthony's making breakfast for everybody?
Mhm.
There you go.
I got it.
Rattlesnake?
Yep, rattlesnake breakfast for you.
Oh, I make a mean breakfast.
Leroy, does that work for you?
Yeah, sounds good.
So, what time are we talking?
9 or.
9 work?
We are talking breakfast.
Yeah, we are talking
No
breakfast.
reason why you can't have rattlesnake for breakfast.
So we'll say
9
Wednesday,
a.m.
25th at 9 a.m.
I can make milk, I can make pastry.
You do that well.
I would do that.
Do you want me to bring cinnamon rolls?
Does anybody
I need
wanna make
some
the
eggs.
motion?
Huh? You need eggs?
I make a motion that we.
So we can do some breakfast for you.
A
and
work
stuff.
session, June work session on,
So I
the
make a
25th.
motion that we have the June work session on the 25th of June at 0900.
Yes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Yeah,
And
I think
did
Jean
you want
just invited
cinnamon
herself
rolls
to
or
our work
not?
session.
I'm gonna make
those.
She,
Well, it'd be nice if actually more members of the community would,
Yeah,
I mean,
it would.
I say this and I'll regret it later, but would come, you know, because we do have food, so.
yeah,
that, what was that you made?
gumbo.
Gumbo.
So good.
Did you get to try it?
She can bring some for me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on to number 2, the iCrimp renewal.
Boy.
It went up another, what, $2,000 this year? We're now pushing
I wonder when
8,000.
everybody's gonna figure out that some of these insurances are an absolute old money laundering scam. Yeah.
Yeah, before we pay this though, we really need to make sure our,
When do we have to pay this?
October
October.
1st, isn't it?
Yeah, I see it now.
I felt like
And usually we
payroll
pay it,
was out there too far.
usually we pay it in 2 installments.
Okay.
It's
67,000.
60s.
Hey, just so you know, when I was on the airport board, I think last year iCrimp went up like 40%.
It did. Yeah.
And we had the airport director go out and, shop to see if they could find anything cheaper, and they've all gone up even more than iCrimp. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we learned that at the conference in September last year.
That was the same thing at the fire department.
Yeah, iCrimp is like the best choice for government agencies and big businesses because they work, they're
Yeah,
kind
probably
of,
the least worst choice.
yeah, believe me,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, my statement wasn't directed at them, it's just insurance as an entity.
It's,
Yeah, I got that. I
what were
just,
you saying about the? I felt like I was looking at it and I thought, well, that payroll seems really high for the amount of employees that are here.
So
Yeah.
can we deduct payroll if I give my payroll back?
Your $30 a
Yeah,
quarter.
yeah.
Your tens of dollars.
Well, yeah, but I think we need to take another look at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm
I don't
just saying.
think that, in all honesty, that the council even goes on it, because it's by hours,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so the council is not, so that's like 68,782
So
for
what's our
4 people.
cost? What are we paying? Is it the premium?
Yes, we pay the premium.
Okay, so that's $8,264. So that's what we're paying
I can.
Yeah.
in 2 installments.
And that's to cover all of our city properties. That's the water plant,
Okay.
community center, city hall, library, park, all of our property, the truck, the tractors.
Okay.
This building here is insured for $12,000.
So do they lump the equipment underneath cumulative property values, or should it be another line item?
I think that one is everything that we have insurance on in the city is in that accumulated property.
So if this building burns, you only get $12,000?
$12,000.
But you can make up for that by inviting people with marshmallows together.
Don't burn it, right?
Right, don't burn it. That's what I'm saying.
So this was just information only, just so you guys
Okay.
understand that it went up another
Okay,
$2,000.
so we know we're gonna pay that, is the schedule critical, do we?
No, I would just like for us to, maybe ponder the amount that we have our stuff
Yeah.
covered for,
Yeah.
because, I mean, that is a huge liability on us for being so underinsured.
So obviously, this building being insured for $12,000, we'd never be able to replace it.
Never, never ever.
But when it comes to us being a poor small town,
Exactly.
the most critical piece of infrastructure we have is the water plant.
Yes,
So
and that's kind of, when I put that email out for you guys to kind of look around and see if you think what was on that piece of paper was an accurate number. City Hall, water plant number 1, City Hall number 2.
it'd be really nice if we could get an accurate number on what it would cost to replace our skids and because that's the infrastructure that was burned.
Burn.
Like a legitimate, because we'd have to replace it.
Yeah, the whole,
And if we didn't have enough money for this, then we would be looking at an emergency grant. Because there is such a thing, but I don't want to have to go through that.
yeah, no. And, you know, when you look at the replacement cost of, yeah.
Was there, in that email, did it break it out by area?
But, I'm sorry, Tammy and I were talking numbers on.
Did we
payroll.
email that
But
policy?
we have something like that breaks it out by area?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
our policy breaks it out of how much everything is insured for, what its
Yes.
estimated replacement value is.
I hate to do
Like
this,
the-
but I would make a motion to bring that broken out policy by area and, everything that we're paying insurance on to the June 25th working. I would add that to the agenda for the June 25th working meeting.
I don't think we have to make a motion on that.
Okay.
No.
This is just information.
I would
Yeah,
say,
I'd like
I would
to
say
see it.
fire-wise too, the water plant, we've
Oh.
got pretty defendable up there, like fire damage itself, I mean,
Right.
there's not a whole lot up there that would damage it that bad.
I know
is
the
what I'm
the
saying.
tank's got more standoff distance than the building does.
But
and
the building's
is
metal,
Metal and
and
cinder
then the
block,
old
right?
building's concrete, so I
Yeah.
mean,
But the inside
Well,
of the building too has all that exposed insulation.
that's true, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
criticality of it
Right.
on an outdated system, like if you're talking about premiums and adjusting rates like that, that's something we should really, but then if you look at like City Hall, like that whole block is gone if that catches on fire, period. So if you're looking at from that, just that
Right,
aspect, I
right,
know
right.
that's just,
well, I know concrete buildings can be mighty expensive at the prison when they ride. they burn.
yeah, no, I understand.
One unit
Yeah.
And it was hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars
understand,
to just, because the concrete gets hot.
Mhm.
Takes the
and
mortar out.
Yeah, so it's a structural,
Plus,
Thing.
new construction's made with unicorn hair, so.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's just it, you're looking at multi-million dollars to replace it. That's what we're going through already,
It's
so.
not that they didn't
So
make
we
it onto
already
the
know
ark.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever's on that piece of
Right.
paper is nowhere near enough.
And that's what I'm saying, it's like, when you're looking at your premiums, if you need to shift it or whatever,
Since I stopped drinking.
I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me with the plant and stuff, with it not being insured enough,
Mhm.
is the fact that we never know when a fire's gonna come over that
Mhm.
hill.
Yeah.
And, unless we start cutting some timber back
Mhm.
and, doing some major brush removal and, which I would like to do, but, there's some money in the bank with those timbers if we could get somebody to haul it to the mill for us. But, cut that timber down, cut back, so that we have a good barrier right now. We really, on the plant, we don't have a fire break. We have,
Not if those trees torch.
yeah, that, and I don't think it would protect the,
Them rose bushes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff behind
We
it.
need goats and a logging crew.
yeah. But, we could make money off of it, too.
Well, yeah, well,
So-
hey, that is definitely.
And lumber
something
right
to
now
talk about.
is expensive,
Yeah,
so,
especially
I don't know,
if
it's
the
just
fire
something
gets
to
into
think about.
CPTA land.
yeah. So we'll bring the policy and stuff to the meeting.
Yeah, I just want to take a look.
and Take a look.
One of the things for that meeting, I'll report on the radio licensing update. And the fire department's in the same situation we are, so I'll go ahead and renew them. And I'll have some more information on what's
Okay.
involved and what it will cost and so on.
All right.
Something else just to think about, if we do get any of these grants we're pursuing for this community center and invest in it, we should probably, future us should look at upping our policy if we're gonna put that much money into this building, so just take note of that, I guess.
And I think that it's the reason they got it at 12,000.
Yeah.
Because of the insurance. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's hopefully helping that, as it is right now.
I wonder if the grants might require a certain amount of insurance carried on it.
I don't think they've said it, nothing that I've seen so far said anything about the insurance, but, it just,
Maybe
would
a
be-
new bill.
Yeah.
it would behoove the whole city if we, if we put the time and effort, because we've got community working on it and stuff. We don't want that to just be futile.
And I think we need to look at the payroll reports. I don't know how it is in Idaho, but, and every insurance company is different, but the PTO is off-site. That should not be included in this.
Right. And is it?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's included. And this
Because,
appears to be about $2,000 more on here than what we just pulled up on the, so I think the payroll on here is wrong.
So we'll make sure this gets to the
Yeah, so we just need payroll reports.
25th meeting.
And do they go by sales? Services on any of this? Are there any services like that we provide? Is there any kind of insurance on anything? There's
No.
Okay.
No. You mean like, loss of revenue if the water plant burned up?
No, I'm talking about like, our income, our revenue. Is there any revenue? Okay.
I can reach out to DuPont and Paul. They're two companies that do the skids, and see if they'd be able to give me a quote on
Yeah.
what it would take to
That'd be
replace.
Perfect.
I actually kind of want that anyway, if we could.
Yep.
That'd be great.
I'll try to bring that to the work
Yeah.
meeting.
Awesome. Great. Alrighty. So are we ready to move on to city
Yeah,
appointment
I
briefing? Okay, Cindy, you're up.
One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay. I don't really have anything other than we're moving towards getting QuickBooks online, which will be quite a learning experience from what I understand. And otherwise, we're getting files gone through and going to archives. I found a missing ordinance and put it back in the ordinance book because there wasn't a copy and this one was signed. I found where the railroad land it's deeded back to us. So the city, there is no railroad property in town
Anymore.
and hasn't been since 1924. It all belongs to the city. So finding out some interesting things. It's a slow process going through, and it's
And
just.
the reservoir road.
Oh, yes, and the reservoir, the road up to the water plant. It is an easement that was given to us by Rasmussen.
Yep.
And so.
It's ours.
It's ours, so
We
somebody
hold the
doesn't
cards.
hold all the cards,
Yeah.
like they said to
Or like
us,
any
so,
card.
just saying. So yeah, very interesting things that we're finding in these files.
Good.
Yeah.
I'd like to say the council, you guys are doing good and not overreacting to stuff like that and actually doing your homework and digging through the files.
Been huge.
It's been huge, and you guys working together, like, it's monumental. It really, as a citizen, I'm very ecstatic about it. I'm super excited, and I'm glad to be working with you guys on that, because
Thank
that
you.
stuff right there, like,
Yes.
it's a game changer. And
Absolutely.
it forces people to actually, like, come and educate themselves and have adult conversations about moving forward as a community or their personal interests. Like, it's not just the old school knee-jerk mine or whatever. Like,
Or emotional.
it's really cool. Yeah.
Yes.
So
And I have to commend Cindy because I don't think anybody understands unless you've been in that office and you have tried to go find something. There is nothing. I mean, I've worked in military offices. Tammy has worked in offices. Cindy, I think, has worked. There is no rhyme or reason to the way that's put together. So when you go to find something, common sense says you go here to find it, and there is nothing in there that's supposed to be in there. This deed to this land easement was in stuff that had nothing to do
Exactly.
with land or deeds or easements or anything like that.
Yep.
So that's why we couldn't find it. Looking
And it
for-
wasn't even in a file, it was just stuck between two files, so if you're going through, yeah, you wouldn't have found
So,
it. It was
getting very
hidden.
there are lots of file cabinets that are being surplus too.
Oh yeah, we're getting dived on.
So, and it's, I don't know that it's, which is good. It's not, I don't know that, because I've been digging around on water, so, I mean, we went through a whole drawer, and maybe we actually only really went through a third of it. And I mean, there was stuff that didn't even need to be in the file cabinet.
There's a lot of that
It
too.
was not
And
like
3 and 4 copies
public
of the
trust
same
information, it
things.
wasn't records management stuff, it was just, I mean, it was a lot of nothing.
Yep.
And then,
Yeah.
and then when in doubt, don't throw anything away,
Yes,
was the other thing. So, I mean, we shredded a lot,
Yeah.
just kind of cleaning it up
6
and
bags
organizing
that
and
day.
stuff, yeah, so.
6,
Yeah.
well, they're the small
So
garbage
we
can
have,
bags,
we
but
have
6
enough
bags of
space,
shredded.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, out
some
of
of it
4
looked like
drawers.
just like stuff that was printed out to be sent out to individuals, just in copies, it's just a lot of
So,
stuff.
I know you guys are your own municipality, but, with some of this stuff, would you want to record it with the county?
Maybe,
So they have the record?
maybe.
Well, it is, that's the
is?
whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Some of the stuff, this is another thing that we're finding is a lot of our ordinances have never made it through the process. So some of these ordinances that that's why they don't go by them, because they've never become legal. They've just been,
So they're
they're just-
void or they're not even, they're not.
they've never been signed,
So it's
they've
just
never
on a
been,
piece of paper. and
it's just a
never-
piece of paper in a book that's never been signed, never been sent to, you know, to the newspaper to be posted in the newspaper. It's never gone to county to have be stamped.
So that's eventually something we're gonna have.
Yeah,
to
we're,
work
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
make sure that everything we have jives
We-
with what's recorded at the county.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing.
And that's after
So
we
if I
get
can help
done
with that, let
cleaning
me
it
know.
up.
I think you guys are doing, you know, great work just getting this. And if you get it laying flat just once, and then it's just keeping it up.
Yes,
Right,
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's not like that to do it again.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully.
And then we got master scanning and put them in the computer over there, Mr. Leroy. He's been kicking butt, taking names on getting things scanned and put in the computer so that we have, you know, the ability to put it on our website. So, yeah, we,
And if you ever had a fire, I mean,
exactly,
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's my concern, is
Yes.
fire.
Yeah.
And we lose all that stuff, the
Yeah.
maps and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, so we, like I said, I have a team that I can't praise enough. I really can't. I get emotional when I start thinking about it, because going from January 17th to 24 to today, it's like a whole new world. I mean, we've got a great team. We all work together well. It's amazing. I can't thank these guys enough. I really can't.
You're doing a very good job as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Are you done?
You're
Oh, wow.
Don't get me started.
Now we're getting dread, but I like.
This is my favorite part of the whole meeting.
Okay, so next week, the temperature's gonna drop down a little bit and stuff, so I wanna get the spraying done that we need to do anyway, cause you gotta be under like 80 degrees to go ahead and spray the stuff that I wanna spray. I was certified to spray through Orfino and stuff, so, I did the classes, I got the knowledge. It's idea, we gotta document when we spray and where we spray, just it needs to be documented.
Right.
So I need to go for a truck ride with you and drive around the neighborhood and see what we spray and don't spray. And the rest of you need to get a hold of her or me and let me know what you want sprayed and what you don't want sprayed. I am a don't spray kind of a guy, okay? So if you want some.
Are you talking about
So-
weeds?
Yes.
Weeds?
So,
spraying?
yeah, weeds, so, like, there's a meter box up there on Marion Street that is all just massive thorns growing over it, and we gotta fight our way into
Yeah.
it to go ahead
It's
and weed the damn thing. I'd like to spray some of that, you know, and there's the edge of the, down here along the street by the park, you know, and stuff, so that roadway there and stuff, and,
I'm not saying I'm a big sprayer, but as far as I'm concerned right now with the fire and
oh, yeah.
all those dead blackberry bushes along the road, I mean, I
Yeah.
know everybody else would be mad.
So I've been
but
trying to keep
I-
up on my weed eating, and I'd like to get some of the spraying caught up anyway, so, anyway, we need to do a road trip, and we need to go ahead and figure that out, so. I have sprays already, so don't ask me where I got them, but, we're set up there.
Okay.
So, okay. I was sort of hoping to pour rain today and stuff,
Me too.
but it didn't, because I set the mag tank up. I can get the mag tank in the truck, sprayer booms, pumps already in less than 15 minutes. So
Nice.
when a storm comes in and it's coming in, I can be there, like I say, 15 minutes, I can be ready to rock and roll and mag the roads.
You should see the
Oh, I know.
oh, have you seen it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty freaking amazing. I had-
Anyway, if we can't, we need to get hold of the fire department and see about using the tent.
I was just gonna say, if you want, let me know, and I can run down, I'll grab it.
Well, I can grab it, I'm on the fire department, and I built the truck.
Right. Oh, no, but I'm just saying,
So,
if
I'd like to
one of us
drive-
wants to mag
yeah,
and the other can
yeah.
run ahead and water.
Yeah, I'd like to
I'll
drive
run
the
it
truck,
tandem
because
with you.
I haven't drove it since
Okay,
for
that's
over
fine.
10 years, and I'm.
I don't know how well I did magging, but I can follow you right
Oh,
behind
you're
it,
good, yeah,
so.
you're good, yeah, so we'll put a lot more on this time.
For sure, yeah, just let me know when you wanna do that.
Because it all varies, like, if there's a rainstorm came through today, it would
Yeah.
depend how much mag I put down as to how much it rained anyway.
Okay.
But with the truck, we can put it quite a bit down and do that stuff. So
Yeah,
we just
let me
need to
know.
figure out a day. It doesn't look like we're gonna have any storms here.
That,
So
I think
I
it
was really
passed.
counting on today to do this.
We got rain in Lewiston.
I was in Lewiston this morning until about 2 o'clock, and it was like,
Yeah, and I kept watching that storm come up through there, and so I went out and I put the tank in the truck and I got everything all ready to go. And nothing, yeah, so I'm not very.
Welcome to Peck,
And we could use a really good storm.
3 or 4 drops on my.
without lightning.
yeah.
Without lightning.
Yeah, it-
Yeah,
it-
no lightning.
They had like 30 strikes down by Riggins and stuff, it was bad.
Oregon got lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I still need to finish ditching up in the Elwood and stuff, so that means I need to maybe have somebody drive the dump trailer and stuff when we do that and stuff, anyway. I got the sprinkler system all going really good at the park. I don't know if somebody's going in there and messing with my sprinkler timer and stuff, but I need to get that set up so I can lock it up and stuff.
Yeah, we, because this
'cause
was
I-
the same problem we were having last year.
Okay.
what I told
'cause
them.
The time was changing, and I don't know why the time keeps changing, because the sprinklers came on in the middle of noon the other day, and I'm like, that is not, I got them set up to come on at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Right.
and I got them to run not as long as we had them before, because it's using massive amount of water, and those sprinkler heads put out a massive amount of water, so.
Is the timer on that on something that turns off and on?
Yeah, the whole sprinkler system.
No, I mean that turns itself off and on, like through a photo cell or something like that?
No.
No, it's a
no.
timer system.
Oh, I know, but if
No,
the power
no.
of the timer turns
No.
off, that's
It'll
gonna change the
mess
sign.
up the time,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's directly wired in, Toro type system, a clock in it and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah, and then it's. got the
But what I'm
program
asking
in
you
it.
is, are you sure that the clock is getting fed 24 hours a day?
I don't know, that's what.
Yeah.
Well, I know we had a power outage, just
Yeah.
that flickered. I wonder
Yeah,
if that might
flickered.
be,
Yeah.
is that enough to trip it?
I haven't, I need to pull that panel out there to see if they got a battery backup inside it somewhere, is what I need to do that anyway, because that's what I'm
But
wondering.
it would
is
stop the clock, so when it came back on, the clock would not be right.
Well,
Yeah.
we should
But
be
the
able to
clock
lock
is
it
not
anyway.
being-
Yeah, I need to lock it in.
Yes.
Anyway, that's what I'm just.
I
saying.
didn't
We
see
need to
any
lock it.
batteries in there. I think I open one of those panels once upon a time. I don't think
Yeah,
I saw
I think you
any.
tried.
That's why I didn't see any batteries in
I
there
didn't see
either,
any
unless I
batteries.
took the panel off of the box
Yeah.
itself, and I haven't seen anything yet.
Those things
so-
only last for like 5 years.
Yeah, so I check it all the time. It's
Yeah.
no big deal, but I
Yeah.
like to lock that up and stuff, get that taken care of. Okay, we're gonna remodel City Hall and stuff. I need to get underneath there and run a few more power cords up for our different desks that we're gonna be putting in and stuff, so I'm gonna need those breakers and stuff, which we're gonna have to probably go down to Snake River Avenue and go to that place anyway. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Sounds like a
Got the
plan.
credit card?
Grab the car.
We're gonna smoke that baby up tomorrow. All right, here we go. All right.
With breakers. So
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
to the thing.
Oh, yeah, breakers, yeah.
Okay, I got a couple culverts up there that are plugged up pretty bad stuff. I found a jet rotor head that will fit on the end of our pressure washer and stuff
there
that I
we
can
go.
go through and pressure wash them culverts out. It's only $10 through Amazon just for this head to go ahead and stuff. So I say we just buy that and so I can use the pressure washer to clean out some culverts. that-
Should buy 2 or 3 of them.
So you're gonna need to get me
I will.
the page.
I'll say
And
yes.
that's within your allowance, so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sprinkler locks, all right, here we go, now we're going to pictures. All right, do you want the fountain at the park fixed or not? No.
I think we've had too many problems with
Yeah,
kids.
they-
messing
Oh, we
with
always
it,
have problems. with that
Unfortunately.
thing, yeah, I mean, leaks, kids beating it up, breaking it, you
Yeah.
can see the little box in the back here, there's a faucet there, the water line coming into it, and it gets tore up all the time, plus, I wouldn't drink the city water myself, but anyway, that's.
And I take that personally.
Because he's got a nice spring well up there.
Because my dog won't drink it, I don't know anybody. Yeah. Okay, the lights in the bathroom, do you want lights in the bathroom?
We should have lights in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
probably. It's
Yeah.
probably a
Okay,
safety thing.
on the women's side, there is no light
light, yeah,
whatsoever.
there's
This is
no
on the
light
men's side,
fixture.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking even if it's just one 40-watt bulb, LED bulb in each room,
Yeah.
would be more than enough, you know, I'd be happy with
Yeah.
that, okay? All right, so I will see about,
Should be
Close
something
it down for
Huh?
all winter.
Should be something for safety.
yeah, that's what I'm
I mean, that's
thinking,
the only
because
thing
people
that
are
I
walking
can
in there in
say.
the dark.
I mean,
and
I'd
it's
say
not
no.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say over in Orofino, there has been a lot more homeless people that have been walking around. Today there was a homeless couple that was doing naughty things in the gazebo today.
Oh
So
my.
So
they may be stopping by on their way over. A lot of them are going over Seattle.
that's why they don't heat the bathroom at the park in Orfino, because they didn't want it open all winter, because people were going in and spending the night in the bathroom. That's why they lock up the parks in Orfino during the winter and put a porta potty outside.
Yep.
So they don't have to deal with that, because they've had trouble with that
Right.
before. 'Cause we talked about heating.
And
the
ours
bathroom.
are locked up starting in what,
Yeah, we're
October,
locked
when
up
we shut the
now.
water off.
Yeah.
Are we locking it in the evening after a certain amount of hours or anything?
No,
not
no,
during the
Orfino's open
summer.
all the time too, all night long and
Yeah.
stuff. And I haven't had any vandalism down there really, so I don't see a problem right now. And then I put up 2 fake motion cameras up there on the front.
But they're not fake.
Oh no, they're not fake.
We
You know,
just
I got-
gotta get the wires ringing to them.
Yeah, there you go. I gotta hook them up yet. And then there's a plaque on the outside, on the back, and on the front that the park is videotaped too. So we got that covered. All right. Okay, here's Boz's little road thing. What did we decide on that with the lawyer? That we can send him a letter, or are we gonna talk to him about this, or?
We don't have any, well, we gotta look at our ordinances, I think, do we have an ordinance for right of way
We
and
are
parking
looking,
and
we're in the process of trying to go through and see
do we have anything?
if we have anything.
If
The
I
problem
haven't
is-
found anything. I've read through them ordinances and
So
stuff
I
as far
will
as,
go
yeah.
start searching for, because I know other cities have got this.
But
with trash
because of our
and cars
easement,
and-
can we
There's
not
gotta
write
be
him a
something.
letter?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
keep this from
Well,
happening.
but he
Something we
did
can build off
say,
of.
did he
Yeah.
not say that because it is,
Oh, that's me, sorry.
Scared the daylights out of me.
Here's my dog.
because,
That's great.
Ah.
because it's city property,
Yeah,
we can make them not, we have to send them a letter and tell them they need to stay off, move their vehicles off of city property.
true, but we'll have more legs to stand
Stand
on
on
if
with
we have an ordinance.
Right.
Yeah, or something. Anyway, that's something we need to address, because this is
But
just,
yes.
this is just totally unallowable.
Well, he finally got that one car out of there, and then he dragged that
Yeah, then he dragged
Silverado
this-
that went flying the other night.
Yeah,
So
so
is
he
that-
dragged it in there.
Would that impede a fire truck
Yes.
as well?
Absolutely.
Well-
So I'll tell you right now, when I got, before I was a city, when I was, there's a contracted to plow snow, there was not necessarily that truck, but there's other trucks there, and then on the other side of the street where they've erected a fence that's also on the right.
Yeah, and there was a rig parked there
There
too.
was a
and I
dually
have-
parked there, and there
Yeah.
was just enough room to get a plow truck through there. So,
Yeah, here, you can see it here, you gotta swing over and there's the fence, you know.
If anybody's
and the
parked where
car.
that four-wheeler is, yeah. You
put it
can-
this way, the guy just passed him in that gray house, I mean, he parks a camper on the side of the road, but he parks it parallel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's
John
not-
does,
And
yeah.
I told
And he's off.
Tracy,
And it
Yeah.
keeps everything clear, so.
yes, he does,
I
John
mean,
does, yeah.
common sense would say, hey, I mean, we gotta do something.
Yeah.
Well, and we're gonna have to notify him, if he's going to even park parallel on there,
Yeah.
he is going to have to purchase the culverts to put in there, because he has filled that ditch with dirt so that he can park there.
We're,
That's
gravel.
why it starts flooding and it
we're
won't.
coming to that.
yeah,
Okay.
there's,
Okay, so anyway, that's in your head now, okay,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I gave her a thumb drive sheet with problems, okay,
Yeah.
so she has all this, okay. All right.
she being the mayor,
The
you're
mayor,
pointing
the
to the
mayor, I'm
mayor.
sorry. Art. So on the Braun water meter deal, did we get paid for that, taken care of, as far as them paying for the water meter, or the water meter stand that they destroyed when they dug that up?
Nope,
Oh, okay, I'm just curious, I didn't want to take it out of my notes unless it was, okay, all right.
can we send a bill?
Okay, here's of course, the right-of-way thing with people parking out next to the roads. We did the cemetery thing already. The Pete lot, he's gone over there. They've removed a lot of that dirt anyway. They still got some more to remove anyway. And Pete knows that I want that out of there and gone, so I can get my barriers in there and make my gravel pile over there and do something to cable that off so nobody can steal our rock. Okay?
So did Ren did he,
He took everything he needed for his
oh,
lot.
but he still, that's what's left after Ren took.
There's a
what he
little bit
wanted?
less than this there than in this picture. I've taken a recent one, but there's
Okay.
still a little bit of a wall there. I could take and
Level that
level
out.
it all out, you know, and it'd actually raise our ground a little
I think we
bit,
should
you know,
probably
which
try
wouldn't be
to
a
do
bad
that.
idea either and
Yeah.
stuff too. That way keep my rock from going into the ground.
Yeah.
Can
Plus
you
there'd be
level
like-
it out and then put rock on top is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bins for the.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna put Jersey barriers and then we'll drop our, or, sanding rock.
Sand and rock in there,
And
yeah,
then,
for our sander and
and
for
then our
pipe
gravel.
repairs and for
Yeah.
roads. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, there we go, got that done, okay. Now we got the Penny Dale thing figured out
Yep.
now, so I can remove all those pictures and stuff as far as that goes. Here's the right-of-way easements, I put them on microfilm. Here's the culvert area here, you can see from John Barton's all the way down through here, is that pipe buried all the way down there, and then this is a little bit of a ditch here, and then it starts again right about the bottom of this picture here and goes all the way down to Boz's place. Another small culvert, okay? So if I go up and talk to John, say, John, we need a 16-inch culvert through here, okay? John puts in a 16-inch culvert, fixes this part, okay, it's gonna run across the road down here at Boz's next, and gonna flood that house out on the other side of the road at Boz's, so.
Which is Tammy's.
Yeah, it's gonna come right
Yeah,
down
it's
to your
gonna go right
place.
through my garden.
Yeah, and so-
I've got all those too.
Anyway,
And your basement.
those are two major issues, and we need to get this thing up at John's taken care of this year.
Now,
I don't want
yes.
this road flooding out anymore.
exactly.
You'll see here pictures, okay, here it is. This is what it looked like, it's running across the road, and it's
That's what
going
the
down
snow
the
melt.
street and stuff, you know?
Just wash that road out.
And
Yeah.
you see what was plugged up here, I need to dig this the rest of the way up and get these out of there and stuff, which I did some of that already. Here's the road that got washed out, and here is the road in 2016, same damn thing. This has been going on for years and years and years, yeah, so we need to get that piping taken care of up on Pine Street.
So what do we need to
somehow.
do to make it happen?
We need to talk to John Barton about replacing he's gonna have to buy the culvert.
Right.
I've seen the ordinance, I don't remember which one it is, I need to make a copy of it. We only have to provide a driveway entrance to a property, okay? And the driveway entrance has to be, I think it said something like 12 feet wide culvert area. That's what we have to supply, okay? If anybody else wants to park their rigs along the road and fill in the ditch and put a culvert in, they gotta pay for the culvert
Yes.
and stuff, because that's for their convenience, not for ours, okay? If they don't do that, I'm gonna come in the back arm and dig some gun up, and when it starts flooding, and we're gonna have a ditch through their yard and
Exactly.
stuff,
But do
and
we
it's not
plan
gonna be
on
pretty,
doing
yeah.
that, being as it's city property? Do we want to allow that? You guys would have to decide on that.
I think if they put in the proper culverting and stuff, and it's done right, you know, catch basin or whatever stuff, I'm okay with them doing that, you know.
They
But-
still have to realize,
Well-
it's still city property.
Yeah, it's still.
We're
city
just
property.
allowing them to
Yeah.
park there
Yeah.
because they provided a way for the water to flow through the
Yeah,
ditch.
as
with
long
no
as we get,
parking.
as long as they cover, if we have an ordinance saying they have to pay for the culvert, and they pay for the culvert and they park parallel, because
Yeah.
those are two separate
Separate
things.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those properties around that corner, as long as all those rigs are parked parallel, there's no problem.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think I
And,
would
and
throw
the
it.
parallel parking thing's a big thing,
It
because
is.
John's parking right.
He
He's
is.
his trailer.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows better than plug up the road, and he's just as pissed off about this,
The other, yeah.
the other thing going on too, so, okay. All
I
right,
think you might want to say something with your two issues, add a third one where you're not draining stuff down into there.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's
big
another
convoluted,
issue.
but
That
yeah,
has nothing to
I-
do
yeah,
with
I
the.
know.
yeah, that's an
I agree.
EPA, that's an EPA thing I would have to read.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would, yeah, I would, yeah. Okay, here's a below Holland, a plug culvert, that's where we need that jet rodder to come in there and rod that culvert out. I ditched all this, or no, I didn't ditch all this, I ditched all below this spring. I think as far as ditching on the side streets up there, I pretty well got it whipped and everything, it looks pretty dang good. you
It
know,
looks
so-
really good.
I mean, it drains good, the banks are not rough or smooth, I mean, grass is growing back there, that everybody seems to be happy and pretty with it
Yeah,
and stuff. so
Nice, it looks good.
I think we're doing good there. This
But you
here is
forgot the
that,
flowers.
That's at the park, isn't it?
yeah, this is the park. I need to figure out, I believe there's a culvert across here and stuff. It's just buried and covered up and stuff. I went in there with my metal detector and there's so much stuff in the ground there that I can't figure out what the hell's going on in there and stuff. So I'm just gonna have to take the backhoe in and start exploring. I've had 2 locates done on this, and they're saying, oh, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna dig the hell out of this thing, and if I find something, I don't wanna have to pay for it.
Don't we have some culvert that was donated to us that we can put in, replace what's there if we need?
This is a long chunk through here.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
it
don't
is
have
a
a
long
long
chunk,
enough
and we
chunk.
don't. That one culvert that we got, it's going up here.
Right.
Cause that culvert is rotted through, fell a hole, and I put steel plates over it just to go ahead and get it so we can drive over it without
Okay.
getting in trouble. The other culvert's pretty, not that long anyway, it's still a big culvert, but that's something that would probably be used on Elwood at one spot that we have. It's bad up there on like Pine Street anyway, up
Okay.
on top end. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go in there and do some digging, explore, find stuff, you know, to try and get rid of that. This is down at the corner of Elwood and Main Street there. I dug that out, cleaned that all out. I think it's all right. I think I need just to improve the ditch on the lower side, the land I acquired for the fire department, that chunk through there, that's now
Right.
Brian Dale's lot anyway. I just need to clean that up a little bit to get this to drain good
Drain,
stuff
okay.
anyway. This is our lot out behind City Hall. Now, our buddy neighbor over here seems to think that she needs to go ahead and drain all of her yard and all of her street into my lot, you know, and it should be going the other way. It shouldn't be coming my way,
That's
okay?
fixing to stop because we're gonna put the ditch
Yeah.
back.
Okay, so I just want to explain to you, and this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And when we have a big rain, I have a big lake, yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know what else to do about this, other than dig a hole over in the corner, you know, for some place for the water to go, and maybe filter out through the rock to go ahead and disperse, you know. And what I've been doing has been putting rock in there and raising our lot up, so that this don't happen and the water goes over to the neighbors where it's supposed to go. Anyway,
Well,
Yeah.
if we get that ditch dug back out where she's filled it in and extended her property out into the road,
yeah,
once we get that ditch dug back out, we'll put a culvert into her driveway and then dig that other ditch out on the other side that she's filled up. The water should start running,
down behind
behind
this
and
house
coming
and
out
down
down by
that
the
street.
So there's already culverts in there?
yes,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just,
They're just
she-
buried.
yes.
Yeah, they're just buried. Because she filled in that, there was a ditch there, I remember a long time ago, there was a ditch there, and they filled that all in so you can make lawn. Yeah.
And it's moved out probably, I would say, from the ditch out to the road a good 5, 8 feet,
Yeah.
5 to 8 feet,
Yeah.
because she's taken over the road with,
And the same with our property issue there where I put the faucet in and stuff.
Right.
That's a whole nother issue and stuff as far as, and we might have to have a surveyor come in there, or do we? You know, do we just do what we want to there and have her whine and scream
according
until?
to the attorney, we have done our due diligence to make sure the property, that we've measured 3 different ways.
Okay,
We've done our due diligence. Our water meter is right there.
yeah.
It's our property.
So they drove over the water meter and destroyed it. This is the third time they've destroyed it. This is the third time it's been dug up, repaired, and replaced. 'Cause,
since, in what amount of time?
I'd say in the last 20
Well,
years, I guess.
They just redid that in January of last year.
Yeah, so, and I just had to redo it again, because they
So-
crushed it, and I had to dig it up, but this time,
So who
when I
pays
dug
for
it
that?
up and I put in I fixed the water meter box and stuff, but this time I put a faucet there too. And this time, I got a big cement ring I'm gonna put over that water meter and the faucet, so that it's gonna
It
be
can't be
indestructible.
running.
Yeah, so
And then when we get the fence up,
it'll be
Will
Will
better,
that be
yeah.
inside the fence?
Yes,
Yes.
according to what I see as the property line.
Okay, so did you get your chain link yet?
I gotta wait to figure out my property
Oh, okay.
first,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right, 'cause
Yeah.
you're buying a new fence, you're not getting.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and,
mean, if we wanted to be absolutely certain, I would say we get it surveyed.
How much has to be surveyed there, just how much?
just the
feet?
chunk
Just that
from that
line.
wooden fence out to the street, yeah.
What would
is
the
all.
cost be on that, you
I
know?
have no idea.
I think it's gonna be a general fee and it's gonna be
It's just,
several $100.
yeah, well, it's
I'm
gonna
not
be a
sure.
grand or better,
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's gonna be a grand.
and like the attorney
And we
said,
know that's ours,
we've done our
so
due
are we the ones
diligence.
that are responsible for the survey?
As
No,
best-
she is what
Yeah,
the
as
attorney.
best as I can figure out, and I've done it 3 different directions to try and figure it out, you know, I believe I'm correct where I said the line was, and I painted the white lines on the ground, that's when she had to fit, sent me the nasty emails, then she sent her son up to my house and attacked me, and like, that's whole. All right, so that's that, all right. Ta-da, I got all the ditching done. Oh, I guess we're done with Palmer's,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
they just bring that up when we get a new council and see if they can buffalo over their way through to go ahead and obtain that properties and stuff. So I think we're done with Palmer's.
Well, you did have a swap there you were interested
They,
in.
have.
Oh, he did not want to touch
No
that at all.
swapping at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he told me flat out, no, there's no way we're gonna do that. And I told him, I says, your driveway, half that actually belongs to Brian Dale then, and he can park his cats and equipment in your driveway, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it, you know?
There's not, because
But anyway, good neighbors, good friends, good people, whatever, who cares anyway. All right, let's see, that was a roll down the hill. Okay, we're done with the Palmer thing. Oh, the right of way back here, like Pete's, you know, that's your problem, okay? You're the one that needs to attack this if you wanna do something about it, okay?
we're working on it. It's
Yeah,
gonna be the same, he's
Yeah.
gonna receive the same letter that the people up on top get.
Yeah, and same with me down here, at this end down here.
Yes.
With my property there and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and attack him. I don't mean to, but I'm gonna have to say
Yeah.
something to him and say, get your stuff off of my property.
Yeah.
You'll have an easier time with Pete. I
Yeah.
think you will, because I know he's trying to clean all that
Well,
stuff.
he is, he
anyway.
truly is trying, yeah, but he just don't have no place to park all
Oh, I know.
this stuff.
Well, he's trying to sell it and not
Yeah,
pay buyers and all
I
that
get
sort of
that,
thing,
yeah. But this here piece of property down here that I bought has camper stuff on, I need to get out. He's an old guy, I don't wanna bother him. I tried getting a hold of his daughter to talk to her about it, but I can't seem to make contact with her, so I'm gonna go down and talk to him one more time, see about moving his stuff off there anyway, yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, no, that was a long time ago. Oh, are we done with,
For now, simply.
Simper, yeah, I keep wanting to call him similar, yeah. So we're done with all that, and everything looks good, he put in big culverts and stuff.
Yep.
Everything looked good, it'd be nice if you laid a little more gravel down for us, but I think we're good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You happy with that?
I think
You
so.
live on that road, that's
Yeah,
yours.
I don't have any problem with that section of road.
Okay, we're good. I'm gonna
Personally,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
eliminate this problem and call it
Yeah.
done now, okay? All right, here we go, Peck, oh, the snow plowing thing, we still haven't got that figured out with the county and stuff, so.
We're working on that.
Yeah, that's a work in progress. Okay, and then our squatters, that's in the water bill thing we're gonna send out, right? So
It's
we're gonna be
working.
done with that,
That's-
right?
Working on that with the attorney.
Okay, so that's that.
And
deal.
that's we're working on, that we're working on.
The sewage and stuff.
That
right?
we're working on.
yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
He's really done.
Yeah,
We would be.
I got it, it's all right. It's probably best.
Go out with a bang.
So, okay, that's all I got. No.
All right.
I know that's.
Definitely be interested in any kind of crosstalk or county feedback on how the county is dealing with rural areas and people, you know, because there's big influx of people that come in. Somebody owns a piece of property, they got a water meter, they come in with like, I mean, if you, on your way outside of town, just turn your head to the left, and it's on the county side, you know, with people showing up in multiple campers on one
Yeah.
piece of property and,
Sewage on the ground and water
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I mean,
Yeah.
I've read case studies from other cities that have had bigger cities and stuff that have issues. I mean, there's health code issues, there's fire mitigation, there's fire in general.
So that's come up, and it's
I
a
think
really tough problem.
Yes.
Because like somebody, especially with this, you know, the high as the market is,
Oh,
on
yeah.
housing and everything.
Yeah, I know what's causing it.
Yeah, you got guys that say to their buddy, hey, you can bring your camper on the property here,
Yeah.
and then they go and then they almost
that's
like
cool.
set up a homestead, you know.
Right.
And we actually had one case where there was an older guy, and he needed to have propane delivered. But
Right.
He won't deliver it unless he's got an address, and he can't have an address unless he's got actually a residence.
Right.
And we're actually gonna get a permitting process for those cases where there's a fee, and then we're looking at like putting time limits on how long you can like
Stay there.
stay, and there are other counties, we don't have to make this up, other counties have.
Oh, I grabbed
dealt
one
with this.
from up north, I think Lake Tahoe or somebody.
Yeah, so that's in the works right now, and it's, you know, I kind of like the idea of, well, you're not paying the property taxes because it's not a residence, but you need an address, and for propane or what have you.
Well,
One guy was
emergency
using a porta
services
potty
and fire too.
Yeah,
You know.
and so, that way they have to come down every year, pay a fee, and then they have to keep redoing it every year, and
Almost
at
like
some point,
registering.
it'd be easier just to build a residence and pay the property taxes kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think
So-
there is something out there, and I don't know if it was Nez Perce County, that if if you buy an unimproved piece of property, you can go ahead and park a camper, live in the camper while you're developing the property.
Right.
And I think there was a fee and a permit type thing, but
Yeah, and I think it
there's
was
a lot of
for a
situ-
year,
right.
and then you can renew it for up
Thank
to
you.
like half a year or something.
there's a lot of situations that aren't covered. And
Right.
I think we're just gonna see more of this because it doesn't seem like the housing market's coming down to, a
Yeah.
reasonable level anytime soon,
And
so.
I hate to say it, but generally the county doesn't really pay attention until somebody complains, so
Yeah.
I think that's
You
the
know,
way,
like
I think
this-
that's the way everything is
Yeah.
though.
just complain, and usually, your name isn't shared with the person that we have to, but with complaint, then they take action, so.
Well, and it's also Peck, so, this part of the county doesn't get as much
Yeah.
viewing or attention or
'Cause I-
anything as.
You got your county commissioner here?
Well, this is true.
Yeah, so on your way outside
This
of
is
town.
true, but
you'll-
I'll look left.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
look left and you'll know what
But
I'm
I
talking about.
lived in a tent for
Yeah.
a year while I built my house too,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, well, my grandpa did too, but I mean, this is kind of a different problem than,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The place I'm talking about, this is not City of Peck, you go ahead and take a look left, there was a house there, there still is a house there. And then, a bunch of family members showed up, so,
Right,
kind of like the Clampets, and, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
except the Clampets had money.
Yeah, I don't think there's any oil unless if we hit gold, we just need to keep that to ourselves. But anyway, I just figured I'd bring it up because I know it's not just a us thing. It's a
No, I'm
a sign
glad
of
you
the
did.
times.
That gives me,
Yeah.
that's why I go to these meetings to hear stuff like that. And then when it comes up in our building planning meetings and stuff, I say, well,
Right.
here's some of the feedback I'm getting.
I think
And-
that's where I found it was Nez Perce County zoning, land zoning off of the website you guys have.
Yeah, and Chelsea is so good about, she's got a program where she can overlay maps, tell you all the zoning. Now I had one constituent that called me and said, hey, I'm having a problem with my neighbor because I've got a wheat field and he's doing cattle and he says I have to fix half his fence, and it goes back to like
Yeah.
open range laws,
Oh,
1800s, and then herd districts and all
Oh, yeah.
that. And she's got the overlays for all that stuff
Yeah.
on her maps.
Hey,
I've worked
Leroy.
with
She's a
her.
wealth.
She's
Yeah, she's
great.
a wealth of
Yeah.
information.
She's
Hey,
great.
Leroy, right there's your answer.
What?
Chelsea,
I've already talked to her about all this lot of stuff.
over there at City Hall.
Oh,
Lewiston.
about what?
About the landline, the property lines.
Oh, it's there between us and Walker, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh. Talk to her about it?
Yeah,
yeah, call
Chelsea,
Chelsea, see if
she's got
the
all of it.
overlaid maps.
She has overlay maps for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that?
That's what I was asking.
Oh.
No, it's a
That's what I was
computer map,
asking
and she
earlier.
just,
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
can
she's
just-
got like 200
Okay.
buttons, and each
Yeah.
button puts a different little
Okay.
skin
And
on
it'll
it.
tell
I'll make
us
a-
exactly where it's at.
I'll make
Yeah.
a point to talk to her.
This is
Yeah.
probably the GIS like plat.
I need it, because I'm subdividing 160 acres up there, I need to go and talk to her.
I really like Chelsea, she is really, really sharp.
Yeah.
She's kind of,
Is she in the assessor's office or?
building and planning up at the
Building
commissioner's
and
office, just
planning,
go, it's the southeast corner of the new courthouse, and we're all in there now, so
Oh.
that's where you come and see us.
Oh, everybody's in there now.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, I had this
Oh,
deal
wow.
with the cow thing and the fence, and she was, I had to deal with it, and guess what, she just downloaded the skins for the open range and herd districts and all that stuff.
There's
Yeah.
an Idaho statute that talks just about fences too.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time on the state.
Yeah, aren't the
legislature
statutes
website.
kind of interesting? I find them very
Yeah, I do
interesting.
too. There used to be one in there on aliens and they took it off, so I don't know.
The only rule I know was that if I had cattle and they had cattle and it was who fixes the fence, it was a handshake and whichever way your thumb pointed, you took care of that half of the fence.
That was actually kind of in statute, but
Yeah.
when they set up well, open range versus herd districts, it's different. So, yeah, it's interesting stuff, but the county, those resources, they're all your resources. So just take advantage of them. And they're really good at doing the recording and keeping things straight. You know, even like the IT stuff, I would even maybe go and we've got a fantastic IT department at the county. And if you guys have questions about service and all, you just ask Randy, go in and say, hey, I know we're Peck and everything, but if you could just tell us what a great what good services are, and maybe there's something the county can help you with. They're really busy right now, though. In the courthouse,
sure.
What does P&Z do? Are they just mainly on developments and that sort of thing that they deal with, or do they deal with individual properties, or?
I haven't sat in the planning and zoning meetings, and I kind of don't want to, because sometimes that would disqualify me from doing the hearings, but they generally come in and they want conditional use waivers. Somebody comes in, like there's a cell tower thing that's really controversial up on Soldiers Meadows Lake, and then zoning changes. So we just zone one from ag to ag residential, and the planning and zoning, they go through all the stuff and they vote on it, and then it comes up to the commissioners. So that's the stuff that I've been involved with so far in my 5 months of being a county commissioner.
Has Jim's position been filled?
I don't think so. I think they were looking for that.
I'll talk to you about a guy before you leave.
And I also heard that, I was like, well, when's Jim's funeral? And they're going to do it at the, I think the Republican Central Committee picnic.
They're going to have a memorial
service there. So.
Oh, are they? Let me know, because I got pictures and slideshows.
Oh, okay.
I'll
do that,
when we worked in the Harley shop and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, and Margaret, I talked to the sheriff, and he was going to do some extra patrols. I'm not sure she's gotten her. I need to talk to her, see if she's gotten her cameras up in her security system. But, yeah.
Did something happen?
They were just concerned because of all the stuff that Jim had with it.
Yeah, I was concerned for Margaret.
Oh, I was too. Because that first week and stuff was nasty, and I'm like, this is not right. Yeah.
Let's move on to the water department. You guys have anything?
Not too much. I did most of our year testing, because this was the year we got hit with.
Yeah.
Gosh,
lead and
overall,
copper, right?
How much?
lead and copper. Those bottles are going out this next week, and then those are going to go in.
$1,800 for the test.
Oh, I know.
Something like
Is
that.
that
Yeah.
requirements that they?
No, it's not the lead and copper. That a lot of that got pushed back, and we were able to get the waiver to do half the testing, so we only have to do 5 every 6 months.
So that's what the 1,800 is?
No, those were
annual.
so there's certain tests you do like once every 5 years, once every 7 years. This was the year like 20 tests came and all ended at the exact same year. So it was a lot. The second half of that just got sent out, so those will be coming out soon. Yes, it shouldn't be as much because it was only 4 tests, but I'm not exactly sure the price on them.
So that's the last of all the 20?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the only tests left are our monthly E. coli's, the lead and copper. Those are getting sent out next week. We're going to do that. And then the second half of the year, there'll be another sodium and nitrate test. So just simple stuff after that.
There's been no issues with the results that we've gotten back so far?
Nope. There was one. I filled it up a little too much, so I had to go take another one. But other than that, results are looking good. They're all within normal. So.
Awesome.
I have a question. The pressure reducing valve, where's that?
We're working on that.
Okay,
It's part of this whole engineering and thing that we're.
Just curious. I
Yeah.
remember that from the last meeting.
Yeah.
We started talking about doing some of our own stuff. It was probably where that came from, and that was going to be halfway, I think, up
Up Lou Street, just below Marion Street.
And it
Yep.
was gonna be,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's,
pressure reducing valve, another one, I think, in a
A
bypass.
vacated road area that we can access easily and stuff.
Our revenue is very limited, so
Yeah, I know, and
it
that
takes
was
a long
expensive.
time
That
to
was
get something
expensive valve,
new.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
And IRWA, they're gonna come out and retest our pressure levels and do the numbers and kind of confirm how bad it is. And
Which will help us with this application.
I got a pressure, I bought, with my money you guys gave me to go ahead and go down by tooling, I bought a pressure valve, or a gauge anyway, and I mounted it on our water meter
Oh.
thing that we hook to the hydrants to sell water and stuff, so whenever we hook up to a hydrant from now on with that, I can go ahead
Oh,
and
cool.
check water pressures and
Yeah.
stuff out and stuff.
That's
So
nice.
I am capable of going around and checking pressures and flow rates out of hydrants now and stuff anyway.
Yeah, that'll be cool, for the times that we don't have Idaho rural water, when we do the flushing, cause that's
Yeah.
when he
That's when we
brings his-
need to do it.
he
So
brings
when we
his.
blow the hydrants again.
We did,
change
yeah,
it
I think every time I've been a part of it so far, we've done it.
Yeah.
We had recordings for every hydrant. Yep.
Other than that, anything else you can think of?
Yeah, so last week I made a boo-boo up at the plant. Blew one of the skids up for a little bit, but everything's good there. It wasn't worth raising the alarms or anything. Leroy and Justin came up and held my hand and walked me through it, so everything turned out good there. But it did kind of make me realize, like, we're missing some tools that we should have on hand up there. A lot of it is PVC fittings and whatnot, but like, there's some tools that,
Just a simple hacksaw, huh?
yeah, we might need to update the toolbox there. And it also made me think, like, if we have the part that failed, we just happen to have one there, but if we needed to run out and like emergency get one, like, would we have to take the skid offline until you guys can convene to allow us to go buy
Do
it?
we have another one of those parts on the shelf?
We'd have to dig through it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
Let us
either.
know by Wednesday,
Okay.
and we can make sure we get that on the next council for approval to buy a couple of those, just in case.
Yep.
At least one.
And then same with like the tool thing, like I can get a tool list together of what I think should be up there.
Oh, yeah.
But it was
Perfect.
one of those things that was like, I needed something to fail to realize what we didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And between the three of us, I mean, we have all the stuff to do it ourselves, but I think the plant should have it there, because
Exactly.
if we're not there, like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
You
No
shouldn't
doubt.
have to use
Exactly.
your personal tools.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do
Yeah.
you guys have a toolkit at Orpheum plant?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got.
Do you got a list of all your tools, or probably not to that?
No, we don't have a list of
Maybe
everything.
we can take pictures of the drawers.
But like I say, I've been bouncing my service truck down.
Mhm.
It's not a problem, but
Oh, I know, we just wanna be independent,
Yeah.
able to stand on our own.
Yeah.
Well, we should have a small tool inventory, period.
Yes.
Right, and the tools up there are basic.
Right.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb in accounting is anything under $500 is considered a small tool. Anything over 500 is an asset. So
Gotcha.
you guys have that. And I've got lists of stuff, I
Right.
just haven't got.
And then that's basically it. It's like if we needed to go get more glue and primer, or we needed to go get some couplers at the plumbing store or whatever, like, it's simple things like that we have some on hand, but there's so many different sizes and shapes, you gotta sit there and dig through it or whatever. And then the piece that failed was a specialty part, and it's like, again, it's back to, we don't have enough inventory up there if stuff starts failing.
So maybe a bookcase made into cubbies. You stick some boxes in there with labels to put all of your parts. Maybe that's something.
I've been kind of dragging my feet on the
Yeah, I would
inventory
look at something
process.
like that, or any
Because
kind
it's
of
just-
cabinet.
You're going with this tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
We'll figure that
Oh,
out.
sweet,
We'll
yeah.
work on that, so. Alrighty. Anything
Yeah.
else?
No.
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and go into executive session.
And it's
It's great seeing you guys.